The massive holographic display in Earth's Central Defense Command lit up with thousands of red dots appearing at the edge of the solar system. Admiral Jack Thompson stood frozen, his coffee cup halfway to his lips, as he watched the incoming fleet's signature grow larger on the screen. "Report," he ordered, setting down his cup. Lieutenant Tom Miller's fingers flew across his console. "Sir, we're detecting over 3,000 vessels of unknown design. They're maintaining formation at the edge of Pluto's orbit. Energy signatures suggest advanced technology, nothing like we've seen before." The room fell silent as more data streamed in. Humanity had prepared for this moment for decades, but now that first contact was actually happening, the weight of responsibility felt heavier than ever. "Send the automated greeting protocol," Thompson commanded. Earth's unified government had prepared extensive first contact procedures after achieving faster-than-light travel 10 years ago. The response came almost immediately. A towering figure materialized in the center of the command room, a holographic projection of a humanoid being wearing elaborate ceremonial armor. Its voice boomed through the speakers, translated in real time by Earth's AI systems. "People of Earth, I am Grand Admiral Rex of the Galactic Empire. Your world has been chosen to join our glorious empire. Resistance is futile. You have one standard rotation to prepare for integration. Your technology, resources, and people will serve the greater good of the empire." Thompson exchanged glances with his senior staff. This wasn't the peaceful first contact they'd hoped for, but they were ready. Earth had spent the last 50 years preparing for exactly this scenario. "Grand Admiral," Thompson replied calmly, "this is Admiral Thompson of Earth's Unified Defense Force. We respectfully decline your offer. Earth is a sovereign world, and we have no interest in becoming part of your empire. You have 24 hours to leave our solar system." The alien's expression shifted to what might have been amusement. "You misunderstand, Admiral. This is not an offer. It is a statement of fact. Your primitive world cannot hope to resist the might of the empire." Thompson smiled. "I suggest you check your scans again, Admiral. You might find we're not as primitive as you think." At his signal, Earth's defensive grid activated. Hundreds of cloaked satellites and defense platforms became visible, their energy signatures lighting up the tactical display. The massive shield generators on Luna powered up, casting a subtle blue glow across the lunar surface visible even from Earth. The alien's hologram flickered as new data reached their fleet. "Impossible," Rex muttered. "These energy readings." "As I said," Thompson continued, "you have 24 hours to leave. This is your only warning. Earth is not interested in joining your empire, now or ever. You dare threaten the empire." Rex's voice thundered. "We have conquered 10,000 worlds. And we're telling you that Earth won't be 10,001. Thompson replied firmly. "We've studied your approach pattern. We've monitored your communications. We know about the worlds you've conquered, and we know about the resistance you've crushed. But humanity is different." Thompson stepped closer to the hologram, his voice steady and calm. "We're not like the other species you've encountered. We spent centuries fighting among ourselves before unifying. We've developed technologies specifically to defend against threats like you. Every scenario you're considering right now, we've planned for it. Every strategy in your military doctrine, we've developed countermeasures." The command room's displays showed the Empire fleet's ships shifting position, probably preparing for an attack formation. Thompson didn't flinch. 24 hours, Grand Admiral. After that, any Empire ship still in our solar system will be considered hostile. Earth is hereby declared forbidden to your empire. This is not a negotiation." A hologram disappeared, leaving the command room in tense silence. Lieutenant Miller looked up from his console. "Sir, they're maintaining position but powering up weapon systems." Thompson nodded, returning to his command chair. "Alert all defense platforms. Bring the Luna shield to full power. And get me the president. It's going to be an interesting day." As the command center burst into activity, Thompson allowed himself a small smile. The Empire had no idea what they were dealing with. Humanity had spent generations preparing for this moment, and they were about to show the galaxy why Earth was not a world to be conquered. The clock was ticking, and in 24 hours, the Empire would learn exactly why Earth had just banned them from entering its space. The Empire's response came just 6 hours into the 24-hour deadline. 3 diplomatic shuttles broke formation from the main fleet, accelerating toward Earth despite repeated warnings from Defense Command. "They're testing us," Admiral Thompson said, watching the shuttles approach on the main display. "Lieutenant Miller, initiate Protocol 7. The defense grid hummed to life. Invisible energy beams locked onto the approaching shuttles, not to destroy them, but to demonstrate Earth's capabilities. The first beam hit the lead shuttle, causing its engines to sputter and die. The second and third shuttles suffered the same fate within seconds. "Direct hit, sir," Miller reported. "Their systems are offline, but life support remains functional. Clean shutdown, just as planned." Thompson activated the communication channel. "Empire vessels, this is your final warning. Your ships have been disabled as a demonstration. The next response will not be so gentle. Return to your fleet immediately." Instead of retreating, a dozen more ships detached from the Empire fleet, these ones clearly armed for combat. They moved to retrieve the disabled shuttles. "Weapons charge." "They really don't learn, do they?" Thompson muttered. "Execute Defense Pattern Delta." Earth's response was immediate and overwhelming. Hidden defense platforms around Mars activated, releasing swarms of autonomous drones. Each drone was barely larger than a basketball, but they moved with incredible speed and precision. The Empire ships opened fire, their energy weapons lighting up space, but hitting nothing. The drones were too fast, too maneuverable. They danced between the energy beams like leaves in the wind. "Sir," Miller called out, picking up energy buildup in the Empire ships. "They're preparing to launch fighters." "Perfect," Thompson smiled. "Just as predicted. Activate the EMPs." The drones suddenly changed formation, creating a complex geometric pattern around the Empire ships. Before the enemy could react, pulses of electromagnetic energy rippled through space. The Empire vessels went dark. Their advanced systems proved vulnerable to Earth's carefully calibrated attack. "All enemy ships disabled," Miller confirmed. "No casualties. Their backup life support systems are functioning as our intel suggested they would." Thompson opened a channel to the main Empire fleet. "Grand Admiral Rex, your ships are intact but powerless. We could have destroyed them, but chose not to. This is your second demonstration of Earth's capabilities. The next one will not be so merciful." The response came in the form of a massive energy surge from the Empire fleet. Their main weapons were powering up, and thousands of fighters were launching. "They're really going to make us do this," Thompson sighed. "Launch the Guardians." From hidden bases on Mars, Earth's own fighters emerged. They looked deceptively simple, sleek, black shapes that seemed to absorb light. But these were humanity's elite spacecraft, the result of decades of research and development. The Empire fighters charged forward, their formation perfect and intimidating. But as they entered the space between Mars and Earth, something strange happened. Their precise formation began to break apart. Fighters veered off course, their pilots seemingly confused. "Cognitive disruption field operating at full efficiency," Miller reported with satisfaction. "Their neural interfaces are completely scrambled." The Empire pilots, relying heavily on their neural-linked control systems, found themselves unable to properly control their ships. Earth's fighters moved in, methodically disabling the confused enemy craft one by one. In the Empire's main fleet, Grand Admiral Rex watched in growing horror as his first wave of fighters was systematically neutralized without a single shot being fired in actual combat. "Impossible," he muttered. "Their technology. It's beyond anything we've encountered." Thompson's voice came through clear and calm. "This is your third demonstration, Admiral. We've disabled your diplomatic shuttles, your rescue ships, and now your fighters. all without causing a single casualty. The next time your ships enter our space, we will not be so careful." He paused, letting the message sink in. "You have 18 hours remaining to leave our solar system. I suggest you use them wisely. Earth is forbidden to your empire, not because we fear you, but because we choose not to be part of your conquest. Remember this day, Admiral. Remember what happened when you thought Earth would be an easy target." The disabled Empire ships floated silently in space, a testament to humanity's defensive capabilities. In the command center, Thompson turned to his staff. "Prepare for their next move. Something tells me they're not done testing us yet." The real battle, he knew, was just beginning. The Empire's psychological warfare began 12 hours into the deadline. Massive holographic projections appeared in the skies above every major city on Earth, showing scenes of worlds the Empire had conquered, the destruction they had caused, and the fate of those who had resisted. In Defense Command, Admiral Thompson watched the display of power with mild amusement. "Right on schedule," he said, "just like the simulations predicted." "Sir," Lieutenant Miller called out, "our AI systems have already cracked their broadcast encryption. We're ready to counter." Thompson nodded. "Execute Operation Mirror." Within seconds, Earth's response transformed the Empire's psychological attack into their worst nightmare. The holographic projections flickered and changed, now showing the Empire's greatest defeats, their hidden weaknesses, and most importantly, their lies. "Broadcasting now on all Empire frequencies," Miller reported. "Our AIs have compiled every instance of Empire propaganda versus reality, showing their troops the truth about their glorious conquests." In space, the Empire fleet's formation wavered as their own soldiers watched the truth unfold. Earth's AI systems had spent hours analyzing Empire communications, finding the cracks in their perfect facade. Now those cracks were being exposed to everyone. "Sir," Miller's voice rose with excitement, "we're detecting widespread communications across their fleet. Many ships are questioning their command structure." The hologram of Grand Admiral Rex appeared again, his composure noticeably shaken. "This is an outrage. How dare you spread these lies to our troops?" "These aren't lies, Admiral," Thompson replied calmly. "These are your own records, your own communications, your own truth. We simply removed your propaganda filter. Your soldiers are seeing the reality of the Empire for the first time." Rex's face contorted with rage. "Enough. You leave us no choice. Prepare to witness the true power of the Empire." The enemy fleet began to move, spreading out into an attack formation. But something was different this time. Their movements were hesitant, uncoordinated. "Their fleet commanders are arguing among themselves," Miller reported, monitoring the communications. "Some are questioning the wisdom of attacking us. Others are demanding proof that we're actually as primitive as they were told." Thompson smiled. "And now for the final touch. Launch the probes." From hidden locations throughout the solar system, thousands of small probes activated. They zoomed toward the Empire fleet, easily evading their defensive fire. But instead of attacking, the probes created a massive holographic display visible to every ship in the Empire fleet. The display showed Earth's true defensive capabilities: the massive underground manufacturing facilities, the advanced AI research centers, the fleets of ships that had remained hidden until now. But most importantly, it showed something that made the Empire commanders gasp: Earth's quantum detection grid. "Yes, Admiral," Thompson said to Rex's shocked hologram. "We've been watching your Empire for years. Every ship you sent to secretly scout our system, every attempted infiltration, every hidden probe. We detected them all. We know everything about you, while you know nothing about us." The Empire fleet's formation completely broke down as ship commanders began arguing openly over their channels. Some advocated for immediate retreat. Others demanded to know why they hadn't been told about Earth's true capabilities. "Sir," Miller reported with a grin, 300 Empire ships have just powered down their weapons. They're requesting permission to defect." Thompson nodded. "Granted. Show them to the designated safe zones. He turned back to Rex's hologram. Your empire makes the same mistake everywhere you go, Admiral. You assume that because a civilization hasn't spread across the stars, it must be primitive. You never stop to consider that some of us chose to focus on defense rather than expansion. Rex's hologram flickered as more ships broke formation. This isn't over, he snarled. The Empire will not forget this insult. No, Thompson agreed. It won't. Because we're not just defending Earth anymore. We're going to show every world in your empire the truth. And when they all see what we've shown your fleet today. He let the sentence hang. The hologram disappeared as Rex cut the connection. On the tactical display, the Empire fleet was in chaos, with more ships breaking formation every minute. Sir, Miller said, what do you think they'll do now? Thompson watched the display thoughtfully. Something desperate, Lieutenant. Prepare all defense systems. The Empire's about to make its biggest mistake yet. News traveled fast across the galaxy. Within hours of the Empire's failed demonstrations against Earth, representatives from dozens of alien civilizations began arriving at the edge of the solar system, maintaining a respectful distance as they requested permission to observe. Another diplomatic vessel requesting entry. Sir, Lieutenant Miller reported. This one's from the Centauri Alliance. Admiral Thompson studied the request on his screen. Grant them access to the diplomatic corridor. Standard security protocols. The Centauri ship followed the designated path, escorted by Earth's sleek black vessels. In the primary conference room of the Lunar Diplomatic Center, representatives from 15 different species were already gathered, watching recordings of Earth's defense against the Empire. Ambassador Robert Blake stood before them, his expression calm as he addressed the gathered aliens. As you can see, Earth has no interest in conquest or expansion. We simply wish to maintain our independence and help others do the same. A tall crystalline being stepped forward. Your technology is remarkable. The Empire has dominated our sectors for centuries. None have ever stood against them so effectively. Or so efficiently, added another alien, this one appearing as a swirl of colored gases in a containment suit. No casualties, yet you completely neutralized their forces. Blake nodded. Earth believes in defensive superiority, not destructive power. We're willing to share our defensive technologies with any independent worlds seeking protection from the Empire. The room erupted in excited discussion. This was unprecedented. A civilization offering to share advanced technology without demanding submission or tribute. Meanwhile, in Defense Command, Admiral Thompson was reviewing intelligence reports. The Empire's staging areas are in chaos, he noted. Their supply lines are disrupted by mass defections. Sir, Miller called out, we're receiving a priority transmission from the Proxima colonies. They're reporting Empire forces are withdrawing from their territory. The Empire's grip on nearby systems was weakening. The truth about their vulnerabilities, broadcast by Earth's AI systems, had sparked rebellion across their territories. But more importantly, Earth's demonstration had shown that resistance was possible. In the diplomatic center, Ambassador Blake was finalizing the first wave of defense-sharing agreements. Earth would provide shield technology and AI defense systems to independent worlds, creating a network of protected spaces that the Empire couldn't penetrate. Your world has changed everything, the crystalline being said to Blake. The Empire's aura of invincibility, it shattered. Blake smiled. That was their greatest weapon. Fear. Once we exposed the truth about their capabilities, their power began to crumble. A warning alarm sounded, and all eyes turned to the massive display screen. The Empire fleet was moving again, but this time they were targeting Earth's new allies. They're attacking the Centauri transport fleet, Miller reported to Thompson. Not for long, Thompson replied. Activate the shared defense grid. The newly installed shield systems around the alien ships hummed to life. Empire weapons fire splashed harmlessly against the barriers, their advanced targeting systems confused by Earth's defensive countermeasures. In the diplomatic center, the alien representatives watched in awe as their ships, protected by Earth's technology, easily withstood the Empire's assault. "This is just the beginning," Blake told them. "Together, we can create a network of protected systems. The Empire's days of unrestricted conquest are over." More diplomatic ships arrived hourly, each bringing representatives from worlds that had suffered under Empire rule. Earth's defensive technology spread rapidly, creating pockets of safety throughout nearby space. "Sir," Miller reported to Thompson, "we're receiving surrender requests from 3 Empire battle groups. They're asking for asylum." Thompson nodded. "Direct them to the processing centers, and send word to our new allies. Any Empire ships or personnel seeking refuge should be granted safe passage." The galaxy was changing. Earth's stand against the Empire had broken centuries of unchallenged dominance, offering hope to countless worlds. But in Defense Command, Thompson knew this was just the beginning. "They'll try something big next," he mused. "The Empire won't accept this loss of power quietly." "We'll be ready, sir," Miller assured him. Thompson watched the tactical display, showing the growing network of protected worlds. "Yes, we will. And this time, we won't be standing alone." The Empire had made a fatal mistake in threatening Earth. Now they would face not just one world's defiance, but an alliance of free planets armed with humanity's defensive innovations. The Empire's full-scale invasion began without warning. 5,000 warships emerged from hyperspace simultaneously, surrounding the solar system in a sphere of destructive power. Multiple contact points. Lieutenant Miller's voice cut through the tense silence of Defense Command. "They're using their full battle formation." Admiral Thompson stood calmly, watching the tactical display as red dots appeared everywhere. "They've committed their entire central fleet, just as we hoped." He pressed a button on his command console. "Initiate Operation Firewall." Deep within Mercury's core, massive energy reactors activated. The smallest planet in the solar system had been transformed over decades into humanity's greatest defensive weapon. As the Empire fleet charged their weapons, Mercury began to glow. "Sir," Miller reported, "Empire ships are launching planet-killer missiles." "Let them come," Thompson replied. "Activate the gravity web." Thousands of tiny satellites scattered throughout the solar system powered up. Between them, invisible lines of gravitational force formed a complex web. As the Empire's missiles entered this web, they began to drift off course, their trajectories twisted by artificial gravity fields. Grand Admiral Rex's hologram appeared, his face twisted with rage. "You cannot stop all of them. The Empire will not be denied." The missiles detonated, but far from their intended targets. The explosions created beautiful patterns of light in space, harmlessly far from any inhabited worlds. "Now," Thompson commanded, "show them what Earth can really do." Mercury's glow intensified. From its surface, massive energy beams erupted, but these weren't simple weapons. Each beam contained millions of microscopic robots, engineered to target specific weaknesses in Empire ship design. "Nanite swarms deployed," Miller confirmed, beginning systematic disassembly of enemy fleet. The Empire ships began to break apart, piece by piece, as the nanites did their work. Not destroying, but dismantling with surgical precision. Weapons were separated from power sources, engines detached from hulls, all while carefully preserving life support systems. "Impossible," Rex roared. "This technology, this level of control. Did you think we spent the last 50 years doing nothing?" Thompson asked calmly. "Every advance your Empire made, we studied. Every weakness, we discovered. This isn't just a defense system, it's your worst nightmare." The Empire fleet tried to retreat, but Earth's gravity web had them trapped. Ships that attempted to jump to hyperspace found their drives mysteriously malfunctioning. From the outer edges of the solar system, Earth's hidden fleet finally revealed itself. Massive black ships, their surfaces seeming to absorb light itself, moved into position. "Your Empire's greatest mistake," Thompson continued, was assuming that because we hadn't expanded, we weren't advancing. Everything you see here was built for one purpose: to ensure Earth would never fall to outside conquest. The nanite swarms continued their work, systematically disarming the entire Empire fleet. On thousands of ships, crews watched helplessly as their mighty vessels were reduced to floating habitation modules. "Status report," Thompson commanded. 97% of Empire fleet neutralized, Miller responded. "No casualties. All crew life support systems functioning normally. Remaining 3% are attempting to surrender." Thompson opened a channel to all Empire ships. "Your vessels have been disarmed. Your weapons are gone, but your lives have been spared. Remember this mercy. It's more than your Empire has shown to others." The command center erupted in cheers as the last Empire ships were neutralized. Humanity's greatest defensive system had worked perfectly, transforming the most powerful invasion fleet in galactic history into harmless debris in a matter of hours. "Sir," Miller called out, "we're receiving transmissions from across Empire space. Other worlds are rising up. Our defensive technology is spreading faster than they can contain it." Thompson nodded, watching the tactical display as thousands of green dots, representing Allied worlds and rebellion forces, began to appear throughout the galaxy. "Send word to our allies," he ordered. "The Empire's grip is broken. It's time for Phase 2. The Empire had launched its greatest attack on Earth, hoping to crush humanity's defiance. Instead, they had triggered their own downfall, as Earth's defensive technology spread across the galaxy like a virus of freedom. In the space around Earth, the dismantled Empire fleet drifted silently, a monument to humanity's determination to remain free. 3 months after the Empire's failed invasion, Earth's defense fleet moved beyond the solar system for the first time. Admiral Thompson stood on the bridge of the flagship Defender, watching as hundreds of Earth vessels entered formation. "All ships report ready, sir," Lieutenant Miller announced from his station. "The Liberation Fleet is prepared for jump." Thompson nodded, his eyes fixed on the tactical display showing their first target, a heavily fortified Empire slave world in the Rigel system. "Begin Operation Freedom." The fleet jumped into hyperspace, emerging precisely at their calculated coordinates. The Empire's defense fleet above Rigel barely had time to register their arrival before Earth's gravity web activated. "Enemy fleet contained," Miller reported. "Deploying nanite swarms." The efficiency of Earth's attack was devastating. Within minutes, the Empire's defensive fleet was systematically disarmed, their weapons and engines dismantled by microscopic machines. From the surface of Rigel, billions of enslaved beings watched in awe as Earth's black ships descended through the atmosphere. The Empire's ground forces found their weapons turning to dust in their hands. The nanites had already spread throughout the planet's defense systems. "Message from the planet's resistance leaders," Miller called out. "They're moving to take control of government centers. The Empire's forces are surrendering everywhere." Thompson opened a channel to the planet's population. "People of Rigel, Earth stands with you. The Empire's control over your world is finished. You are free." Across the planet, celebrations erupted. Centuries of Empire control had ended in less than an hour, without a single shot being fired. "Sir," Miller reported, excitement in his voice, "we're receiving distress calls from 12 other systems. Their populations are rising up against Empire control. They're requesting our assistance." "Send in the support fleets," Thompson ordered, "and activate the defense grid packages for each world." Earth's revolution spread like wildfire through Empire space. Each liberated world received the same defensive technology that had protected Earth, ensuring they could never be conquered again. On the Empire's capital world, panic spread through the ruling council. Reports flooded in of more systems declaring independence, protected by impenetrable defensive shields and gravity webs of their own. "Sir," Miller called out, intercepted communications from the Empire capital. "Their military command structure is collapsing. Regional fleets are declaring independence or requesting to join our alliance." Thompson allowed himself a small smile. The Empire had ruled through fear and superior firepower, but Earth had changed the rules of the game. When every world had impenetrable defenses, the Empire's threats became meaningless. The Liberation Fleet moved from system to system. Each victory was bloodless, each world freed without destruction. Earth's technological superiority wasn't used to conquer, but to protect and liberate. Message from Fleet Command, Miller announced. The Empire's outer territories have all declared independence. Their remaining loyal forces are retreating to their core worlds. How many systems freed so far? Thompson asked. Over 3,000, sir, and more declaring independence every hour. Our defensive technology has spread to nearly a quarter of the galaxy. The Empire's mighty war machine was crumbling. Their ships, designed for conquest, proved useless against Earth's defensive systems. Their tactics, based on fear and overwhelming force, failed when their targets became untouchable. New transmission, Miller reported. The Empire's War Council is requesting an emergency meeting. They're offering unconditional surrender. Thompson shook his head. Tell them it's not Earth they need to surrender to. Each world they enslaved will decide their fate. Our job is just to ensure everyone has the power to make their own choices. The Liberation Fleet continued its mission, spreading freedom and defensive technology across the stars. The Empire, which had dominated the galaxy for centuries, was watching its power disappear not through violence, but through the simple act of making their victims invulnerable to their threats. Earth had changed the fundamental balance of power in the galaxy. In doing so, they had created something unprecedented. A galaxy where every world could stand equal, protected by technology that made conquest impossible. The tables hadn't just turned. They had been completely rewritten. 1 year after Earth's first contact with the Empire, Admiral Thompson stood in the Grand Chamber of the newly established Galactic Council on Luna. Representatives from over 10,000 worlds filled the massive amphitheater, each system now protected by Earth's defensive technology. The final Empire holdout has accepted the terms, Lieutenant Miller reported quietly. The last remnants of their fleet have powered down their weapons and requested integration into the protected systems network. Thompson nodded, watching as the former Grand Admiral Rex approached the central podium. The once proud Empire commander looked diminished in civilian clothes, but his voice remained strong as he addressed the assembly. On behalf of the former Empire systems, I formally acknowledge the new Galactic Order, Rex announced. Our remaining worlds accept the terms of the Protected Systems Treaty and renounce all claims of dominion over other civilizations. The chamber erupted in applause. Earth's victory hadn't just defeated the Empire. It had fundamentally changed how civilizations interacted across the galaxy. Ambassador Blake stepped forward to present the final draft of the treaty. The Protected Systems Network is now complete. Every world, regardless of its technological level or military strength, now has access to the same defensive capabilities that protected Earth. The holographic displays showed the network spanning the galaxy, a vast web of protected worlds, each surrounded by the same impenetrable defenses that had humbled the Empire's invasion fleet. From this day forward, Blake continued, no civilization may enter another space without explicit permission. The era of conquest is over. Each world is sovereign, each species free to develop at its own pace. Thompson watched as former Empire worlds signed the treaty alongside the planets they had once enslaved. Earth's defensive technology had created true equality. When every world was unconquerable, peaceful cooperation became the only logical path. Sir, Miller said, checking his display. The solar system's new outer defense ring is online. Earth's space is now officially designated as forbidden to any unauthorized entry. The sign of Earth's new status appeared on screens throughout the chamber. A simple warning in multiple languages. Earth system. Protected space. Entry forbidden without authorization. Thompson addressed the assembly. Earth doesn't seek to rule or control. We offer protection and partnership. Our world will remain forbidden to any who would attempt conquest, and we extend the same protection to all who wish it. The new galactic order was unlike anything that had existed before. Trade flourished between worlds, but military threats became impossible. Cultural exchange replaced conquest. Knowledge and technology were shared freely, but no civilization could force its will upon another. Former empire worlds, freed from the burden of maintaining massive military fleets, turned their resources to exploration and scientific advancement. The defensive technology that had protected Earth now protected everyone, creating a balance that made war obsolete. Message from Defense Command, Miller reported. The last of the Empire's planet-killer weapons have been dismantled. Their components are being repurposed for the defensive grid. Thompson smiled. The weapons of conquest were being transformed into tools of protection, a fitting symbol for the galaxy's transformation. The chamber's massive screens displayed real-time images from across the galaxy. Thousands of worlds, once living in fear of Empire ships appearing in their skies, now protected by shields that made them untouchable. Earth's gift to the galaxy hadn't just been technology. It had been true independence. The Protected Space Protocol is now active across all registered systems, Blake announced. From this day forward, every world has the right and the ability to declare its space forbidden to unwanted visitors. As the assembly concluded, Thompson looked out at the representatives of thousands of civilizations, former enemies now partners in maintaining the new peace. Earth's stand against the Empire had evolved into something greater than anyone had imagined. A galaxy where every world could stand proud and free, protected by the same technology that had made Earth unconquerable. The Empire's attempt to conquer Earth had led to their own obsolescence. In their place had risen something unprecedented, a galactic community of equals, each world forbidden to those who would harm it, open to those who came in peace. Earth's message to the Empire had become the galaxy's new foundation, entry forbidden to those who seek conquest, but open to all who seek friendship.